What's up, everyone? Welcome to yet another exciting episode of TokeMoments. I say exciting the way I do because my guest today is someone who I like to describe as an onion. She has so many layers to her. Apart from building an amazing and enormous brand, which is not just timeless, but also very trendy. I mean, basically, every Eat girl should have a staple or two of the Banke Kuku brand in their wardrobe. The lady behind the brand, Banke Kuku, is my guest today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How
so
are
good
you?
to be here.
Oh my God, I love your nail polish.
Thank
It's
you.
so cute.
It's kind of summery.
I know. And it goes with the pants and everything.
Thank
Is just,
you.
the print is just working.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know.
For those who do not know, like I was saying to Banke before we started recording, it's like, you know, when you hear the Banke Kuku brand, it's with all the seriousness, and she's done an amazing job with it.
you.
But the lady behind the brand is very interesting. A lot of people don't get to see that side of her. So I'm hoping that on this episode today, when we're done, you know the woman behind the brand. How are you? I can say Happy New Year because
this is the first time. And this is the first time
we've not seen each other this year.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Was it Christmas or was it November? Last time we went to Ijebu together.
Oh yes, that was November.
November.
Yeah, I haven't seen you.
And we haven't seen each other this year at all.
I know, and we're in April.
But this year feels like it's already like 6 months.
It's basically halfway through the year. We're literally April. Yeah.
How's 2025 been for you, honestly?
It has been like really intense. It's been like you don't know whether to accelerate or to take a step back because so many things just keep unfolding, but you're just like, no, we're gonna keep pushing. There's so many surprises. It's been a surprising year.
I think adulting for me, we talk about adulting, but 2025 has been one of those years that I've really been faced with adulting.
Like with life.
Like I feel like we're all at that age where a lot of our parents are dying already.
Yes.
A lot of people are inviting me to funerals of my father died, my mother died. And it's like, you know what I mean? A lot of people are also like dealing with so much work-wise. A lot of uncertainty.
Yes.
And in there's rays of sunshine.
Yes, you're just like, okay, I can just keep going. I feel like this year we're all healing. Do you not feel so? I feel like we're trying to find but we don't really know what we're healing from because there's so many different things. And it's just like, what is healing? What does healing look like?
Yeah, 24 hours in this year is a...
Yeah.
We made it today.
Yeah.
Let's try and go again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think I'm learning more this year to be kinder to myself. Like I feel like sometimes, and I don't know if it's the same with you, because building brands takes its toll on you. Business at some point is all you know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you find yourself talking about business.
That is who you are, almost like your identity.
And I don't like that.
I know they tell you not to make your identity, but you can't help it because that's what you like live, breathe, sleep every day. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so I'm finding myself now, you know, apart from the fact that, you know, on a personal level, the loss that I've only just encountered, it's made me really question a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. Is it worth it all?
How do you know? It's like you wake up, you see your to-do list.
Yes.
And you're just hearing your assistant roll up and you're just like, somebody can just close your eye and you're no more.
But you know what? It is worth it. Because I think it's really important to live a full life.
Yeah.
And you have a legacy.
Yeah.
And it's important to inspire people. So when the time comes where, you do leave, people remember you for, she was fun, she had different facets to her.
Mm-hmm.
And just life is short. We're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
So it's important just to enjoy it.
And I think that we all don't even realize how short it is. We keep saying life is short. Even at 80, life is short.
Yes.
Even the person that dies at 100, life is short.
Yes.
Because it goes by like this. Like, you don't even realize how quickly it goes by.
We're talking about 2025. To me, it's like halfway through the year. After summer, we're planning for Christmas again.
And even when I feel like traveling for me has always been a sense of... It stopped being traveling for me for a couple of years now has been a sense of detachment.
Yes.
Because there's so much going on with work and oiling the well and business and on to the next project that when I get to just shut down, I don't even take it for granted.
Yes.
I find that that's not even what it is anymore. Like
when last did you shut down? Like shut down?
I can't remember.
Me too.
I don't know how to.
Me too. I think it's more stressful shutting down. have to check some device. I have to check something.
So how do you juggle? Because I've always, when we wanted to do this, one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, how do you juggle? Like, how do you still, because from what you're saying, we're similar in many ways. As business owners, you find yourself, that's your identity, even when you don't want to make it your identity.
Yeah.
So how do you then connect with Banke?
It really depends. You have to find it because it changes over time.
Yeah.
Before, I used to be able to travel and I'll have lunch with my friends and I'll, do. But when it become, then that stopped working for me.
Yeah.
And I'm unable to I would love to be able to travel to like an island and stay by myself. I can't do that. My mind is too busy.
I want to do that too.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to. That's my aim, to be able to do that and
Not
be
a
able
city.
like an island and have your mind still. I would love to be able to do that.
I feel like I need like one of those island
Me
type
too.
of holidays.
But can you do it?
I don't think I can. I was supposed to do it with Tiwa at the beginning of the year and I chickened out. She went by herself.
It's too much.
But also I think it was where we chose Maldives. It's so romantic.
Yes.
So I'm like, after 2 days, what do I want to be discussing with you in this whole like, I would rather be here with a man, not you. Because after the first day, we'll think about our lives, we'll talk about our goals, our plans. But I need to be able to go to an island and sleep to the sound of the ocean. Sleep.
Yes.
Sleep.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, that's such a dream.
Where I don't have to check TM Luxury, TM Beauty.
I know. But you would want to check.
That's the thing. I don't want to.
So that's why you aspire
where
to
you're
go
just
to.
like, well, who wants to born? Let's see, born and come back.
Exactly.
Thinking, But I know what you mean. Like deep down, my mind is always going to be at home.
Yes.
Like you always be checking Nigerian time.
Yes.
Who is this?
You actually be living on Nigerian time. You're basically just going to be doing the same thing, just a different location.
And I think the difference between, like, for me, the islands, I might be wrong, but the islands represent such romantic getaways to me.
Yes.
That I just feel like if I would look like a total idiot to be in Maldives for 5 days by myself. All that sea. Okay, you finish praying the first day. What's going on? You finish meditating the next day. A massage. Are you telling me that
your mind would be immersed? Yeah, it's for me. I really aspire to have that kind of stillness, and that it's almost like you have to be very controlled as a person to be able to say, for 3 days, I'm not going to check my phone. I'm just going to be massaged and meditating, and that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's so weird that someone's watching, they're looking at you, independent woman, personified, running a business, who I would say has transcended, between genres and between times, which is why I use timeless for Banke Kuku, because a 50-year-old person will walk into a Banke Kuku store and there's something for them.
Yes.
Gen Zs would walk into a Banke Kuku store and there's something for them. And you've poured your heart into all these textiles and prints and what is the mind of Banke Kuku like? Like, do you just ever get to a point where you're just like, this week I just want to just eat out and pick out and just be like pizza, ice cream?
Yeah, I do this. I do that. I have to.
How do you stay in shape?
I do a lot of walking and I spin as well. Okay. So I think there's some weeks I'm just like, I'm just going to do the things I really like doing within the business. So I'm going to be designing. I'm going to do the things I really like. And then next week I will then face my battles, so that it's different. So not every week is like 100%. Some weeks are 30%. But as long as I show up, then it's fine. So you just have to measure it like that. Some days I'm just like I've done like 100 things, and some days I've just done one.
You really made it, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So do you think that being independent, as independent women, do you think that we've glamorized this notion of being independent?
It's tough.
I won't lie, Banke, let me break it down. Forget the cameras. This point in my life, if I have the opportunity to marry a second or third or fourth or fifth wife,
it's hard.
Banke, I would think it.
It is hard. But do you know what? I also feel like even if you're in a marriage or in a relationship, it's still important to have your own.
Yeah.
Because I feel like,
Yeah, but already we brought our own now. Well, let me tell you what the biggest thing for me is.
Yeah.
I'm the boss everywhere. And that can be tiring. I don't know if that's...
You almost feel like you need somewhere to put your head down, where you can just...
Can I live?
I know. But
someone that could just decide what's for dinner. Must it be me?
It has to. It'll be you. Even if you become fit wife, it's still you. It's
I don't
still
even
you.
realize that those things we always used to say when we're younger, like that could never be me, God forbid.
It's you. It's you. It's the nurturing side of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, even apart from that, like I used to be very like, there's certain things that you'd be like, I could never ever do this. And you see people that are doing certain things and you'll be the biggest judge and just be like, how did they even sleep on? Right now in my points in my life, I almost understand. Like I'm always I don't have the heart to do it.
Yes, but it's I think 2020. I think being a woman in 2025 is very difficult because people think there's just so much pressure on men, but I think the pressure on women is more because you're the boss, you're the friend, you're the nurturing person, you're the daughter, and then you still have to find time for yourself. Do you understand? And with the society we live in and having children and doing all these, there's all that, and yet you still have to keep it together.
How do you have time for even friendships?
I have very few friends.
I think it comes with the terrain, right?
Yeah.
It's like at some point you have to.
Yeah.
Because I find people. I was watching a TikTok where the girl was talking about how I'm supposed to meet up with friends. I'm supposed to cook dinner. I'm supposed to also be a listening wife. I'm supposed to be great at work.
Yes.
I'm supposed, nobody talks about, especially on millennials.
Yes.
Like we've been carrying so much for so long.
The Gen Zs have rebelled.
They've been like, I'm not going down the way you guys went down. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
They pick their mental health.
Yes.
They prioritize.
They are selfish.
And I love it for them.
Yes.
I look at that generation of audacious people who they don't like something, they change it.
There's a side of them that I really respect, but there's a side of them that I'm just like,
I know.
You guys do need to chill out a little bit.
I think the side that makes me worry is I feel like in another 10, 20, 30 years, we would not have that many artisans. Everybody wants to be their own business owner. You know what I mean? Nobody's about white-collar jobs anymore.
Yes.
So who's going to be the teller guy at the back?
Exactly.
Who's going to wash our clothes? Who's going to,
but I guess they'll build robots.
Those robots are coming,
They are coming. Maybe that's their plan.
The AI world is literally coming at. But the millennials have been, I must say, I think we've been
there's
through
pressure. There's pressure because we're the balance between like the tech world and then traditionalism, and we're trying to find that happy balance.
I know your background is law, right?
No, my background is textiles, fashion.
Okay, textiles. Oh,
yes.
I think it was law for some reason.
No.
I was also going to ask about, you know how a lot of us would set out back then and had these dreams of, being in a white collar job. So you from the get-go has always been fashion and designing.
Yeah.
That's been amazing, though.
Thank you.
When you look back on everything, how do you feel?
I mean, sometimes when I, like today in the car, I was thinking back, oh my gosh, I remember when I was like in uni and I was working for Matches Fashion on the shop floor and I was marrying all these like Peter Pilotto and the Prince and I can't believe like now I'm doing it for myself and I have to, and I just always tell myself no matter how hard the journey is, I just have to like enjoy the process and appreciate every step of it, because sometimes you get so like, oh, when I get to this point, then I'll be happy. Or when I do this, then I'll be happy. And it's forever going, and you're never really enjoying the process or enjoying the moment. So I've tried to be like, no matter what, I'm going to try and celebrate the small wins as well as the big wins.
I mean, the small wins are really, for me, in my life, they are the ones that actually mean more to me.
Yes, exactly.
Because there are certain things that would just be like, I cannot believe, this happened. And if nobody's cheering, I'll cheer on for myself because I know how hard. The big wins are easier to accept.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
And everybody's celebrating with
you. And you're just like, okay, that also kind of gives me a lot of chills because it's like, okay, what next? What next? And they put you on so much pressure.
So much pressure.
Yes. But then, I mean, just seeing how your brand has also like just moved from, as you said, just, thinking about mixing brands to, it's now a lifestyle brand. People would say when they list the Diary of an Eat Girl, I watch so many things on TikTok and there always has to be Banke Kuku. Or he proposed to me, he knows I love a Banke Kuku, so that had to be there. Or he did, and that must definitely make you chuckle to know that people actually look at it as a statement of wealth and arriving.
I mean, I'm so I'm.
They feel like when you talk about Kuku, you have money.
Yes, that's what people keep telling me, and I'm grateful I have been able to build this and keep going and keep innovating. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of you have been really intentional about it. It's been a lot of not being able to have a social life for some time. And now that I have a bigger team, I'm able to do more with my friends and have more time for myself. But there was a good amount of time, years, where I just had to put my head down. Yeah.
Talking about social life, like, was it like a trade-off? You know
Yeah,
how people would
definitely.
say I had to bury my head, as you said right
Yes.
now, and forgo parties and hanging out with people and doing this, or is it just your personality? Because there's some people who
I
just
think
are
it's a bit
not
of
really
both.
okay.
I am definitely. I know that I definitely, like, one of my hobbies is spending time with my friends. It might not be going out to a club, but it might just be having drinks inside and laughing. And I definitely feel there are times where I definitely had to sacrifice those times so I could spend time designing collections, or maybe my might not even be there. All I can think of is I need to get past this issue at work before I can even think of doing anything else.
breathing.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Because I remember growing up, you used to be an ultimate party girl. Like every time you'd visit Nigeria, would be Bacchus where would run into each other. Oh, those Bacchus days were fun.
Do you know, I have to say, I had a great, like my uni years, my teen, I had a great time. I don't regret anything, because I'm glad, like, I went through that and I kind of got it out of my system then. And then so when I had to focus, I really did focus. I've done it before. It's nothing like, you know. But yeah, I had a good time. We had a good time in Bacchus.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, yeah, people see the Banke Kuku brand and they're like, oh my God, I remember the first time I walked into your office, and even the shop girls and how everyone was so dressed so pristinely and so nice. And I thought, they pay attention to branding here. And on the other side is this fun girl who a lot of people don't get to see, because you're either somewhere sketching or putting together textiles and all of that. Would you ever get to a point where you'd say, okay, I've gotten to a point where I can retire now?
Oh, definitely.
So what's retirement like looking? Because I feel like these days I've started to think about how long more do I have to push? 10,
I think
15
I definitely think about that. Like, even like just growing my brand, how long do I want to be
the forefront?
Yeah, how long do I want to be doing that for, realistically, before I get tired? And you don't want to burn out.
Yeah, burnout is real.
Yeah, you don't want to burn. You need to be able to move on before you burn out. So I'm really just I just gauge it and see what does that look like for me. How, like, when I'm older, like, what do I really want to be doing? Do I want to be doing this, or do I see myself kind of just doing something else?
Are you a city girl or a country girl? Like, would you be someone who can sort of just stay away from the city and just be...
No, I'm a city girl.
I can't tell. But I think that's what we should be trying to change.
Do you think so?
I think, yeah, because I feel like that's why we've not gone to these islands, because we're always going to function in the city.
Do you know, it gets... when I'm out of Lagos, first of all, I'm like, I need to have a break. And then I need the mad... I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss the madness. I miss the heat.
I miss 3 days after I landed in a new country, I'm already looking forward to...
Yes, going back.
I don't even know how to be calm.
Exactly.
It's like...
It needs to be... You need that fire. I need to wake up and be...
Do you not think that is mental torture for us? That's not life. Like, I admire... But I don't know about you, but I deeply admire people who just have the power of chill.
Yeah, me too. They can I can't even have a massage for too long.
I don't feel like people touching me. How about that?
I can't have a massage for too long. My mind can't stay still for too long.
Yeah. But I think it's one of the things that we have to both write down and change.
I think my ultimate goal by the end of the year is to be able to go somewhere for 4 days, 3 days, and be still.
Would you ever think about taking like a sabbatical for you? Like, where you just be like, this
How
year,
long, though?
6 months maybe.
I
can't do somebody else.
And you know what? I don't want to be able to do it.
I swear. I think what it is, I think we're afraid of what we might discover.
Do you think
because
so?
we've been doing this for so long.
What am I doing for 6 months?
Girl, you just never know until we decide to commit
So you travel for 6 months?
Not necessarily. You can travel, maybe you can do a fellowship, just do something that is not what you're used to doing, to learn other things. I think what I started saying now to people is that even in terms of dating for me, I want to now date people who would teach me something about their world. I need to sit with somebody that I don't need to talk about sets, filming. I need to hear about stock exchange, oil. Like, just give me something that let me feel small in your world.
Yeah.
Because in my world, I feel larger than life. And I want to learn something, because before you know what's going on, you just be like, You gave up that masculine energy without knowing.
That's really important.
You don't even have that. I don't know how you've been able to keep your soft side.
Yeah.
My masculine energy is a thing. I'm now trying to unlearn to just be soft.
No, but I think
you're so softly spoken.
Yeah, people say that a lot.
Yeah, but I think that also adds to it. Like if a man meets you, he probably just thinks, oh, you know, she just looks delicate. You're like, where's that thing? Bring it. I'm tired of, you know what I mean? Like I just want to learn something about. It could be friendship, not necessarily even in dating. For instance, just make friends that have yachts that I can just be like, for the next 6 months, let me meet your other friends that will just talk to me about a world that I did not know existed out there.
I can do it for 10 days.
To be fair, you're right. I think
10 days, and you know, I can't leave my base for more than 10 days or 2 weeks. I can't do 6 months. 6 months.
That's a lot. That's half of the year.
You become a different person.
Yeah.
Which might
might not be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't know about you, but one of the things about me that I'm trying to change is when people ask me things like, so who is Toke outside of work? I get nervous.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she's the goddess.
What do you like to do outside of work? But you can say there are things that I know there are definitely things I like to do outside of work.
Sleep for me.
Hang out with friends.
Sleep is a thing for me now.
Really?
At our age, sleep is a thing for me now.
I'm not a good sleeper.
Because I don't get to do that often. I don't know how to just be still and just... People that take afternoon naps, there's a special place. I don't know how to do it. And the people that, regardless of how wealthy they are, they do create that time
where they go to bed.
Just shut down.
Yes.
Or they'll tell you they're in bed at 9 p.m. every night.
Yeah.
How are you in bed at 9?
I know.
I just come alive. I literally just come alive. Then my brain remembers all the things on my to-do list and all the things not to do. But I honestly, I don't think this is how we were created to live as women.
I know, but the world is so different now.
It is.
And what's the alternative? I'd rather be like, have my own and than like
depend on anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'll be able to function. Shout out to people who that, you know, that's how their DNA is set up, but that's what they got going on.
And I feel like you can still, I just need to know that I have, like, I grew up with a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that has really taught me, like, just the importance for me, for my personality, the importance of being able to hold my own somewhere. Even if I'm bringing 1 naira. At least that's my 1 naira.
And that 1 naira is mine.
Exactly. And being able to have, even if you're in a relationship, just be able to have that, what is yours, even if it may not be bringing in any money. It's just like something you can escape to that's outside your partner, your children, your family. That is just you. And you get to kind of say dictate, what that is. Yes, dictate and direct it. I think for me, that's really important.
Do you feel that might be also coming from a place of trauma? I'll tell you. Gabrielle Union 2 years ago had this article, or was it 3 years ago, where she came out to say she goes 50-50 in a marriage. And I think she thought she ate with that. And I understood where she was coming from hearing it. I recognized the trauma because I also know how difficult it is for me to need people. I don't like to ask people for anything. I work as hard as I do because I will grind my teeth first before I say, can I have... Even in terms of not necessarily relationships, even with friendships, I'm not the friend who knows how to be demanding. Yeah. I think it's also some of the things I'm trying to unlearn because sometimes we're stuck in your head where you're overthinking.
Yeah.
Should I message this person? I don't want to seem like I'm disturbing. And it's like, babe, I would be offended if you don't message me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But when she shared that, the whole internet erupted because regardless of it, she was hitched or married to somebody who was making 10 times more than...
Yes.
Even from time immemorial. So it's almost like...
Yes.
What are you trying to prove? Is it that masculine energy? But recently, she came out and did say that's not what's, people are allowed to grow, which I'm not a believer of. She's like, nah, she had to sit with herself and her trauma and heal from it. And only because, you also mentioned parts of growing up. Because sometimes I feel there are parts of us that, certain things that we've seen either in our parents or we've seen them having to protect us, we just automatically make up our minds and say, I would never be this person that somebody will have to say, I gave you this or I did this to you.
Or maybe that fear of abandonment. maybe.
It is a thing.
Or, when you feel like I have, that I just need to be able to know that
I have.
I'm
So if
able to,
life changes, I can at least
Yes.
I'll be able to fall on my
Yes,
feet.
exactly. And you never know, like maybe, the person you're with may need support at some point.
Yeah.
And it might fall on you. You never know, or someone, you just never know how life can change.
Yeah. But do you think it's the right way for us to carry on also? And in case, I don't know if you want kids, but if you had kids tomorrow, would you raise your daughter that way?
Yeah, I would.
You would? I don't know, because I'm trying to unlearn
But
so many things.
I think it's good to have a balance. You should be able to have your own, but allow a man to look after you.
Yeah.
And
if he can.
Yeah. Exactly. Allow someone to look after you, allow someone to care for you emotionally in all, and you don't have to be fighting them or trying to prove a point. But in the back of your mind, you know that, but I have, like, this is what I have for myself.
Would you be the kind of person that would declare to your significant other how much you have in the bank?
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would. Everyone says you shouldn't, but I think, you see, it depends. No, I would. I don't know. You wouldn't. I don't.
Many years ago.
It depends on the kind of man you're
Yes. Also, if the man has more than me, it's okay for me to say, these are my coins. But if the man doesn't necessarily have as much as I do, I don't think I would be able to, because I don't think all of them are built to. People would say, everybody, it's honesty, telling. Not everybody is built for honesty. Do you know? Not everybody can take it.
Yes.
Even not just, this is not even about the men now. This is just in general, right? Even me, I'm realizing at my age, there's some certain things I would rather not know.
Oh, 100%.
5 years ago, I wasn't that girl. Yeah. I would rather be like, I want to know. Just tell me.
Do you know what? I think some things I don't need to know. Like, what am I going to do with that information?
Yeah.
How is that information going to help me?
But it was growth. It took me a while to get here. I was the curious cat. Have you always been this strong-willed?
Yes, no. I don't need to know everything now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't need to know
everything.
How
are you so strong? It will keep me up at night.
Really? Oh no, I'll sleep very well. In fact, I'd rather not. Don't tell me. Unless it's going to help me. Why do I want
It's only now that I can say that I'm becoming like that. And I think it just maybe comes with growth. Before, I would be the girl that would go looking.
Really?
Girl, I used to search all my ex's phones.
No. Do you know what? The danger in searching someone's phone is you will find. Because you'll interpret. If you're looking, you'll find.
So you've never snooped before?
No. I don't. Because you're going to find something. Because you're going to read something and interpret it how you want to see it.
So how you just not that person? How you just
but what do you want? The things, unless, see, maybe I'm also a bit naive in the sense that I would just believe that, what I see.
I think after this podcast, sorry, I will let you continue. I think a lot of people will probably DM you for a master class in how to just be poised and composed, because, girl, what?
And another thing I've learned is, once you get to that point and you're searching someone's phone, that means they've entered your head. And that means you're now on this very fragile. You need to be like.
I mean, at that point, it's okay for you to walk out of the relationship, because.
Not even, you don't need to walk out of the relationship. You need to get yourself together. Because
you're getting saying all of this is still.
Because you have to, because you're now allowing someone to control your mind. You can go crazy. There's like a very fine line between being sane and being crazy. And guess what? You're the one who's suffering. Because by the time you're checking his phone, he's doing whatever he needs to do. And you're going crazy. You're checking your phone. You're getting obsessive. You are losing your mind. And at that point, then
Yeah. I feel like it's, for me, as I said earlier, it's a growth thing. It's also a lot of trauma that I had to deal with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I just wouldn't be the one who would want things to just take me by surprise.
Yeah.
So I would want the need to know to make better plans. And I realized, as you said, there's a thin line, because I'm the one who's now losing my mind.
Can you imagine? And he's doing whatever. So the times where you now think like, and that checking, it just leads to so many.
Yeah.
So I had this conversation actually with some family members, and we're talking. Do you remember what's her name from TLC that lit her boyfriend's house?
Left Eye.
Yeah, Left Eye. But I feel like that's starting.
That guy's down.
She did. Exactly. So like, but to get to that point, like, you've lost your
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
You've lost your mind.
Yeah. And it's trauma.
It's trauma.
If she was
Yeah.
alive today and we publish that, it's probably those are the kind of relationships she had seen.
Yeah.
Those are and now that I'm so conscious after therapy and I'm so conscious about how I live my life, I tell people even the quality of a child's happiness is the quality of the mother's happiness.
Yes. Yes.
Some of these things,
Yes.
especially in these African American homes that we're talking
Yes.
about, because back then it was a flex that she would say, that nigga cheated on me, I burnt his house down.
Yeah.
Waiting to excel, she burnt car.
Yeah.
It was a flex of
Yeah.
how she's crazy. And people thought that was the level of strong the woman had to be.
Yes.
That he tried you called the cops on him.
Yes.
Because that's probably all
But that's
the
a
things
broken woman.
God forbid.
Can you imagine like being that angry
At life.
you burnt that guy's, you burnt his house down, you burnt his
Clothes. Those that used to slice tires.
Yeah.
I mean, if I think in my life, I don't think I've done anything that extreme over a relationship. I think the wildest thing I would say I've done in a relationship, even this I'm ashamed to admit it, it's like to show up at his house unannounced.
That's not mad.
No, at night. Guess what? In the middle of the night. He was in there with somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
I did the video.
No, but that's I don't think that's bad.
Okay. I was there till 5 a.m. the next morning.
But, I mean,
But
also,
at some point you're gonna be like, okay, go home.
No.
What do you mean that's not bad?
also, you know what? But you know what? As we can't blame it on ourselves. Do you understand?
I should have walked away.
No, but men also have to take responsibility. Like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna make a girl go through that?
Well, he didn't force me to go through that. I just refused to leave the relationship. Now, in hindsight, I can say, what the hell was I thinking? And I don't think you should, as a woman, love someone to that extent. I feel like it's also part of what you said, where do you lose yourself?
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
And you pray that you have people around you that can help, that can show you who you are, like pick you up and be like, no, that's not you.
Yeah.
You need to it's so as
how important do you think it is for you as a woman to have a solid system in friends? Because it's a slippery slope. There are people that would say to you, you know, they wouldn't even want their friends to know if they had a cheating partner or if they were going through something.
Yeah.
You know, and there are people who are like, I could never have made it through if I did not have the friends that I had. You know, how
100%.
important do you think it is to...
You don't even need to have, like, you can have one or two. But you do need to have someone that you can speak to. I'm not a believer in holding it all in. Like, you need to have that one person where you can say the worst parts of you, and they're not gonna judge you, and they're gonna be like, I understand where you came from when you did that, and then they later on tell you, you know, that thing you did, like, maybe that wasn't the best approach. And you have to have that. You have to.
I think for me, what scares me the most is a lot of Lagos friendships. Do you know what I mean? Like, where it's like, you tell somebody and the person is literally just going to jump on the phone to tell. Because this is how I see life, Banke. Your best friend might be best friends
with other people.
With somebody, not necessarily even with somebody else. Like, I remember when I was watching the Harry and Meghan interview where Harry said, it's not about who you tell. It's about who they're telling as well. And you have no control over that. You know what I mean? Because for that person, this is your confidant. But for that person, she might also have another confidant
that she shares.
And that person is not your friend.
Exactly.
But that person now knows your business.
Yeah.
It scares me
I know. But you kind of learn the hard way. But you
have you ever had like friendships that, you know, when you look back, you're like,
yeah, definitely. Like toxic friendships. Yes, definitely. And friendships that you felt so safe, you thought you were safe, you thought someone had your back, and they're like, and your mind is so fragile, and instead of them to kind of help you nurture yourself back to your normal self, they kind of like, they just enjoy torturing your mind. Yeah, definitely.
Even as a successful person, like, it's not just even in relationships you want to unburden. You know, how safe are you to be able to share your wins without them feeling like it's making them
Yes.
I mean, those who are blessed to have it, I tell them, it's a blessing. You know what I mean?
To be able to tell someone and genuinely happy for you and wants more for you. There's no jealousy. Yes. those friendships are very, 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 very hard.
No, it's gold.
Yeah.
Like it's
Mhm.
literally gold. And
Yeah.
if you have them, you don't even know how lucky and how blessed you are.
Yes.
You know, to literally have friends who might not be in their winning season, but would cheer for
Yes,
you
no matter what.
no matter what.
Yeah.
And I tell people that I don't think the feelings of jealousy is a bad thing. I think it's what you do with it. I think it's normal.
Yes, to feel like
for you
all
to
the-
tell
yes.
me, oh my God, I'm having a baby, and oh my God, I'm getting married. And oh my
Yes,
God, I
yes,
just
yes.
got promoted. And for me to just think, oh God, when is it going to be me?
Yes, but as long as it's not like I'm going to try and take what she has. Do you understand what I mean?
Mhm.
It's good to feel encouraged. Like, okay, well, you know, she's had the baby, she's married, and I want that for myself. But is a problem is like, so she thinks so. Now she thinks she has a baby. I'm going to have a baby. In fact, will she even carry that baby? Like that's very
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people are that way, and you have to be really careful.
Yeah. People always say things like, you cannot be friends with someone that wants your life. Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
That wants your life.
What if your life is an inspiration to them?
But that's not wanting your life. That's kind of just being inspired by you. Wanting your life is a problem.
Wanting everything you do.
Yeah. Wanting your life, wanting the things you wear, wanting the. I think like that's.
I think I had that kind of friendship once where I was the last to know, and then when people would be like, "Do you not find it weird that when you say something like now, oh my God, I just got this," it's never a congratulations. It's them trying to pick holes at it.
Yes.
It's not that much of a big deal. And the next week you see them doing the same thing, and you're like,
yes. Exactly.
Why couldn't you just say,
or buying everything that you have, which is not a bad thing, but at least just like I didn't even like you're just like I didn't even know you're looking at that thing like that. Like, is it really?
How important are compliments in friendships? Like, just off of what you said, you know how someone now can see this pair of shoes, and they wouldn't even say, "Oh my God, those shoes are nice," and the next day they walk in wearing the same shoes.
So weird. That's so weird.
That person wants your life, right?
They can't even tell you, "Oh my gosh, I really like your shoes." I mean, if my close friends, if I love your shoes, in fact, I'm going to buy them.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where you bought? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me that link.
Yes.
And then on the flip side, there are those people that now also hoard.
Like how do you mean?
Like, you know how they're like, "Oh, this is nice. Where do you get it from?" And they start telling lies, and you're just wondering.
So petty. Yeah.
People are so mental.
Yeah, so crazy.
It's like
so crazy.
Is someone okay? Send me the number, and then you now have to ask for the number like 5 times.
Yes, don't forget.
I think on the second I stopped asking.
Yeah.
I again, it could be my trauma because I just stay the way I run. Back at these days, once the vibe is off, I never want to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I know. Definitely, I definitely agree with that.
Like once I feel like I'm just like, no, you don't have to show me twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not. Adulting.
It's tough. It's not like, you know, I think I realized that the other day. I was like, this is just part of when you have like it's just constant one thing after. I'm like, this is just life. This is being an adult. Do you understand? This is just being an adult and being able to regulate yourself and.
Yeah, but where does it stop?
It doesn't stop.
Stop. Are you telling me that?
But you learn how to manage it more better.
You know, I was saying to someone just recently before I sat with you that this can't be all there is to us. It can't be lessons. Come on.
No,
there has to be moments where it's like, okay, all is great now.
Yeah.
And the person was like, but you know, it's in those moments you really become who you are. I'm tired of
becoming. I'm tired. I don't want to become a hard person anymore. I'm already strong.
Like, you know that when you say, God, on your next strongest soldiers list, please take me out of this. I don't want to be a part of this because I'm tired of learning lessons.
Yeah.
And just when you're about to breathe and think, okay, this is cool. It's like the universe says, this is yet another lesson.
Yeah.
Is it that I'm not learning quick enough? What's the problem?
I know. Like, they're different lessons, I guess.
Nah, girl. Like, I honestly, I've started. How do you believe in the power of manifestation?
100%. Yeah, I have I do those mood boards. I have one on my.
I've never really been able. I did
have
one last.
So good.
On Canvas. I did it last year.
Yes, I really believe it. In fact, and then sometimes when I pray, I just open the mood board and I pray on the things I put on my mood board.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that you've manifested?
My business.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
nice.
And
That's
finding myself, understanding myself more, that kind of thing. Yeah.
You know how hard it is to work on finding yourself. My biggest fear on that end is losing it all over again. Like I feel like
Do you know, I used to be, that was like a huge fear for me last year.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, imagine if I just lose it all. Imagine if
not even like the business.
yeah,
Or the
just like lose your mind. Yes.
I
Yeah.
like the business you can always build back because I feel
Yeah.
like it's I'm never I used to be afraid of failure in the beginning.
Yes.
But at some point I started embracing it because I
Mhm.
realized I learned so much more from my
Yeah.
failures
Yeah.
than I did from my successes.
Yeah.
Like my humble beginnings, those
Yeah.
days were like the best
Mhm.
feeling ever.
Mhm.
Where I fell forward, I learned my lesson and I forged ahead. I think for me it's just when you've been through therapy and you've
Yes.
worked on yourself,
Yes.
I'm now I've attained a level of peace that is disturbing, even for me.
That's so good.
I find
That's
myself
amazing.
just like the way I move on from things is also very dangerous. I don't think it's right.
Really?
Yeah, I think that I should care more.
No, that's beautiful. I
Really?
think it's so, yeah. Why are you holding on to something?
Because sometimes you might miss out on something because you did not give it. Not everyone is perfect and not every situation is perfect.
Yeah.
Not every situation starts the way everybody thinks it's going to start. But my fear from where I am right now is that sometimes you might let go of something that might be great just because
You don't have
you
the
had that
patience.
whole sign of if it works like it, beg, I'm not waiting
Okay,
to
yes,
find
yes,
I'm
yes.
that
Okay,
bad.
okay, okay.
I'm that bad.
Really?
Girl, I leave people on red. If you move funny, I just move out of your way.
Really?
The peace I feel going to bed at
But
night.
it's good that you have this peace. That peace is very important too.
It is. Because I fought so hard to get this peace of mind.
It's really
To be
important.
in this business that we're in as well.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you manage even crazy customers? I need to ask you, how do you do it?
Do you know, it used to really get to me, and I would feel like, oh my gosh, but it's growth. I'm growing as a business, I'm growing as a person, we're learning our lessons, and you just learn to be gentle with yourself. And sometimes you can feel yourself going down this like spiral. Oh my gosh, I didn't do this, I didn't get this right. But then you have to catch yourself and be like, you know what? Honestly, am I doing the best I can right now? Could I do better? Yes. What are the lessons learned? You have to be so kind to yourself and almost like baby your mind. Otherwise, you can just put too much pressure on yourself and you end up losing your mind.
Have you had like one of those? I don't like to call it mistakes because I feel like in the end there were just ways to show you how to do things differently. But they are mistakes that you've made early on in your brand or even now that you always think about and think, oh, I wish I took that chance, or I wish I did this differently, or I wish I, actually spent more time developing this area of my brand.
No, I don't. I kind of feel like I am where I'm meant to be, and if I was meant to be somewhere else, then God will guide me there. Yeah, I don't ever think, oh, I wish I had done this. Well, I mean, there definitely like little everyday things. God, I wish I had not chosen this color over that color or something, but nothing big. Like I don't regret, and I think I really learned this last year where I had to face myself, and that knowing yourself is facing yourself and facing every single part of you, the parts that you don't like, the parts that you love, and just being like this, who am I? What am I doing? What do I love? Who is Banke? And as outside of Banke Kuku, the brand, who are you? Like, what's your favorite food? Before I can't answer those things because I'm so involved in what I'm doing. I don't know what my favorite food is.
Did you like the answers you found from it?
At first I just didn't even know how to even answer them. I didn't know how to experience those things because I don't have the time. My right now I have to face my business. I need to I had to make sure that I'm okay. But now then I started like taking life a little bit slower, waking up in the morning, taking my time to get ready, trying new food, trying new things.
Do you cook?
I do cook.
Oh, do you love cooking?
I don't mind it. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but it's cooking in Nigeria is a bit tougher than cooking abroad. But I do enjoy cooking. Just just understanding who I am. I really enjoy that, and I feel as if then my brand became even more
better.
better because I could if I make a decision, I then know that I'm making that from my heart, and I know myself, and I know I trust that decision. So I'm better at making decisions. It's so important to know yourself. Yeah.
I feel like that's a journey that we just cannot completely grasp. I might be wrong. I feel it's one of the hardest journeys to go on.
So hard.
Having to sit yourself down and
Yes.
tell yourself some truth
Yes.
that nobody will tell you.
And things
that
that
you
you have
tell
not
yourself.
things that you have not even faced yourself. Like some things that when you even think about it, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe
that I let that happen to
I
me.
let that happen. Or like I feel horrified with myself.
Yeah.
Or I can't believe I sat in that for so long, or whatever it is. You have to face it, and you have to be okay with it, and you have to move on from it. It's really important.
No, I think the moving on part is where a lot of people get stuck, because people sometimes shy away from even accepting certain things. I think for me, earlier on in my life, I was very comfortable with saying it as it is. Like, okay, I got involved in that situation, it didn't work out. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not gonna be my story.
Do you
I'm
know
going
what
to
I mean?
rewrite that
Thank
shit
you,
as
thank
many
you,
times as
thank
I
you.
can.
Yes.
Do you understand? Even
yes,
if I'm going to
yes.
make more mistakes, I'm up for it.
Yes,
As long
yes,
as
yes.
I can sit with myself and tell myself the truth.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of strength to
It
get there.
does. To look at yourself and just even, it takes so much strength.
I'm tired of being strong, Sha.
Me too.
That one I'll tell you, Sha.
I'm so tired.
I am
get
so
it.
exhausted.
I get it.
I really just want to get to a point in my life where I don't have to be so strong.
Yeah.
At work, with business, even in friendships, just showing up. And even when I see friendships, it's not like my friends demand or depend on me to be strong. It's just that I don't know how to be any other way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's my default.
And you know what? I feel like as life goes on, we're gonna have to be even stronger.
I don't know if I'm caught up for that though. Now I tell people I'm in my soft girl era. I am so welcoming. And it's so funny, just what we're talking about, manifestation, that I started manifesting this and I've seen my life change. I literally woke up one day and I said to myself, anything that has me raising my voice has got to go.
Yeah.
Banke, and from nowhere. Also, I was in Cannes last year and we're taking a stroll. Shout out to NG Show. And Ngozi had been around me for like 3 days. And she just turned to me and said, do you know you sound very, like, I have to tell you this. You sound very bitter. In these 3 days, okay, the amount of times you said men are bastards. She said to me, that's why you're meeting bastards. There's power in the tongue. Start, even if you don't believe it, start saying.
Yeah.
And I started. And I kid you not, I've started meeting some very fantastic people.
Really?
When I stopped saying men are bastards, I started saying men are blessed. For the lack of it, let me not really say how I feel. I'll just say men are special. I'll just, you hear things around you that'll make you react that way and be like, he did that to her. Men are bastards. I did not know that it had become a cycle. Yeah. And I was meeting bastards because that's the stories that I'll be hearing. I'll meet up for lunch and somebody says another thing and I'm like, that happened to you? And then when she said that to me, I was so grateful for that feedback.
Yeah.
Because she's like, you might not even know it because you've been strong all your life. Yeah. So even your disposition, if somebody meets you, you come off like you're waiting for him to mess up.
Yes.
And I didn't know that. I think it was after my Thanksgiving. I sat with myself again and I was like, okay, all right, I'm going to try this soft life.
Yeah.
Where I don't want to raise my voice. I don't want to fight to be.
Yeah.
In this industry, I do enough of that.
Yeah.
Fighting to get to where I am right now. Fighting myself to get out of the way.
You're fighting everywhere. There needs to be a space where you're not fighting. Do you know what I mean? Like you want to have a relationship, friends or romantic, where you're not fighting. It's not you're fighting at work. You're fighting to be who you are. You're fighting, and it needs to be somewhere that nurtures you.
Do you know I don't even know how to argue with men these days?
Really?
Frankly, I used to be the biggest. Like I would have the last say. Before you say what, I know who I am. I've worked so hard to get to where. Before you try me, just know that I have the. Now, I have no problems leaving you already. Okay.
That takes a lot of strength.
I don't even block people. Someone was laughing at me that you are so strong. I'll block. I said, me to block you. That shows what you did bend me. I'll just read it. And the power in rolling over, I did not know I could do it. I'll just leave my phone and roll over, and like clockwork, I retained my peace.
I can't. I have to learn.
Well, girl, I used to write epistles. Now, from a former retired epistle writer, let me quickly give you 3 things that will change your mind this evening. People know what they're doing. So you expressing your mind is just telling them what they already know. Save your peace. It reduces your wrinkles. How am I going to be like, you said you were going to and you did not? Nigga, you said you were going to, you didn't. So you didn't do it and now I've moved on. Let's just, again, the downside is what I said to you is that you might miss out on something fantastic because you weren't like, do you know what I mean?
But there's a way, because I think a lot of people have trust issues.
I do.
A lot, exactly. And trusting yourself, I think that there's a way you can not fully, you don't have to fully move on. You can get to a point where, okay, fine, you're not sure, but then you should be able to say, actually, it's working. Can that exist? Does that make sense?
To have that conversation, I don't know how to.
So you don't have a conversation and say, you know what, this isn't working.
I feel like they're about to tell me that. So before you tell me,
you're on the defense.
Before you tell me, I'm gone. Defense. Got my shadow. Smoke. Poof. This is so much fun. I have so much fun. Like we just chat. It's like I'm just chatting with my friends. I just smoke. Like no, I'm not going to let you do that to me because I feel like all the signs are there. If we as women are going to be honest with ourselves, and I think it's the level of growth that a lot of people are yet to attain, where you can sit yourself down and assess that marriage or that relationship and tell yourself where you fucked up, the things you looked away from, the things that were glaring, you kept trying to hope would change, that you knew. Our intuition is such a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how other people's minds work. My mind, it tells me everything, Banke. My mind tells me everything.
Yeah.
It's a scary place to be because just yesterday, I was talking about some situation and somebody was telling me that how I felt about it was how the person, like, how something happened with me and a friend of mine that I didn't voice out. But I thought in my head that this friend of mine, every time we meet up, I just feel like she's always coming with some kind of energy that I can't really place, right?
Yes.
And because to keep housekeeping and to keep the peace, I just thought, it's not worth it. Just move with them as they're moving with you.
Yeah.
Alas, a friend of ours said to me, this is how this person feels about you. And I thought, that's how I feel about her. But it was just the conversation that had to have been had.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And power of growth. But when I tell you my mind, if something is going down, like if I enter a room, I don't know about you, my mind feeds off energy.
Of course.
I know before it happens to me. So that's why I don't have that conversation. Because I've seen the signs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how from the beginning when they started with you, they're never missing.
Yes.
They are responsive to your messages all the time. They are calling you without... And all of a sudden, it reduces. I'm not going to ask you why it reduced. I just move with the...
For sometimes that conversation can change things. Yeah. If you say, I've noticed that like we're not speaking as much as we used to. And
I can never say that.
You can have that conversation. You have to be able to be vulnerable. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I need help with.
You have to be able to, and there's no pride in. You have to, when it comes to friendships, relationships, you have to leave your pride at the door. Unfortunately,
the way this generation is set up, they had me holding on to my pride, girl.
You can be able to say, because you have to remember, in the relationship, it's just 2 of you. Or in the friendship, it's just 2 of you. So you should be able to say, you know what, Toke, I noticed this. Am I reading it wrong, or is this how? And then you should be able to respond and say, Banke, I was actually feeling this way as well, and we should be able to share our differences and be able to move on from that.
I learned something today on the pod. Maybe I will try and practice that. So maybe I still have some more healing to do then, because I just feel like when I get there, I give a long rope before I get there. So I'm Dilulu. So if you're supposed to call me at 11 and you call me at 5, I would be Dilulu. I would leave that long rope. But the day I wake up and I just tell myself, girl, you're beginning to overlook yourself.
Yeah.
And it took you so long to get here. You don't want to lose your voice.
Which is true. Because sometimes these kind of situations can actually have a serious toll on your mental health. And if you feel yourself, I worked so hard on myself to get here, mentally, spiritually, everything. And then this situation is pulling. Yes, there's a point where you have to also respect yourself and move on. And the person will actually respect you for moving. And it's now them to say, actually, no, I don't want you to go. Do you know what I mean?
So I don't know how to have that conversation you said about, I noticed, because for me, once I start to notice, my mind starts to keep register, right?
So you have to have that conversation before you keep register.
I think
and once
the way
you
I'm
said it,
set up, the register is just like, I am the girl who remembers everything, even in friendships. Like
you have to. Okay, well, depends what level of friendship. If it's a friendship, friendships are so tricky.
They are.
and
as we grow older, it's actually getting worse.
Yes, friendships can be so tricky, but you just have to really have. But they can work so beautifully if you have respect for each other and if you genuinely have love for that person.
Do you know my perfect kind of friendship friend, where we just can pick up where we left off?
Thank you. And there isn't pressure to always speak. There isn't pressure to always, like, you do your life and you're like, I haven't spoken to this person in a couple of years. Let me call her. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've missed you. Is everything okay? But it's like, it's not like, why haven't you called me, or why? Because, life is tough. And there's some seasons where you may not actually want to speak to anyone. You may just want to sit with what's going on and work through those things by yourself. And, you may not want any outside opinions, or or maybe that friend is not the friend that you want to share this. And people have to respect that. But yeah, it can be, I'm like that as well. There are times where, in friendships, we speak every day. And then I might travel and come back and we haven't spoken in 2 months. And that doesn't mean that we're not friends. Yes. That doesn't mean I love you less. That doesn't mean we're not friends. That doesn't mean I don't care for you. It's just the season.
And what do you think about friendships ending and being okay with it? Because I feel like sometimes we struggle. The drama is always the friendship, and if it's ended, it's okay.
Yes, it is okay.
I've come to a point in my life where I'm at peace with what that person represented at the time that person was in my life, and the friendship for I have a rule. I never speak on my friendships if they are no longer in existence. Even good things, bad things in between, it's bad. I do a mental funeral for the person, and once I've done that funeral, Banke, ask your Sola this about me. That's one of her biggest cousins is one of my bestest friends. Yeah. So yeah, just telling people who Sola is. Shout out to you, Sola. It's bad. If I mentally do a funeral for you in my mind, where I dust to dust, ashes to ashes, is done.
Yeah.
The only respect I give to you is I never speak on that friendship. People don't even know. I'm not one who wants to tell my side of the story. I don't care for it. I'm not one who feels the need to be right. I'm very okay to be a villain in your story. Do you know what I do? Ask yourself what my biggest thing is. When they come and ask me, what did you do? I did it. Is that only what she said? Even the one she did not tell you. I did it. In your burukunimi, let me have peace. I'm a bad person. Now I have peace. Since I became bad, I've been sleeping well at night. So I don't feel the need to say my side, because that just opens now seeing the person and feeling the need to say, but I spoke to her and that's not how she saw it. And it just, I learned to dead things.
You're actually right. Yes, it's really, I actually do that too. And I ghost. Like, you may not see me for years. Like, I don't know how it works out, but
ghosting is bad. Ghosting, you need therapy. Ghosting is not healthy.
I ghost. I will not see you.
It's like you're dead to me, vision.
As in, I don't.
And our paths will just cross.
It won't cross.
Isn't it weird how we think life is? Lagos is small, but it's really big. Yeah. So stop being friends with I've not seen them for months or years.
Literally, yeah. I haven't seen some people in years, and they may live 10 minutes from me. They may. I just haven't seen them. I don't know why. Haven't seen them.
If you saw them, would you say hello?
Yeah, I'll say hi. To be polite. Yeah, because it's also uncomfortable to have that non-speaking. I'd rather even if we're outside, we should be able to fakingly say hi.
It depends from you on how the story ended. It depends. I have exes that I just walk past them like they never existed. I'm not mad. I promise you I'm not upset. It's just that I just don't feel the need to. There's a particular one that I remember running into him at a house party at Christmas. And this guy was shocked as he was perambulating around everybody, dead and like, my nigga, and I wasn't mad. I was not offended. I had cried
But
my
you know
tears.
what? Sometimes
I had moved on.
Yeah.
But I just did not feel like I felt like I hate that let's be friends. No.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
There's
want
no
to be
need.
your friend.
Thank you. And I don't. You know, I can be petty like that. So I don't. Why do we need to be friends?
Exactly. We're never friends.
Even with friends that you just need that distance. There's no need to force There's no need to force that like we have clearly fallen out, and we clearly have our differences. Can we have our differences and
in
feel
peace.
that and just move? Oh, definitely.
I'm very much like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in. That's why I don't bother with the hello, hi, and cordial.
I can say hi now.
Because again, you gotta know who you are. For me, I'm a Scorpio. I know my boundaries. When I tell people this, they first think, "Oh, that's so childish." But when I finish explaining, then they understand it.
Yeah.
If I love someone, I will always love them. If I loved you as a friend, I would always love you. Now, the tendency for me to mess with my boundaries because of who you are to me is very real. So there's some hellos that are not necessary, because from hello, hi, how are you, we feel the need to catch up. From catching up, I don't know when to shut up. I will now share things that have been happening in my life. Yeah. So I help myself. Me not saying hello to you is not beef. It's not anger. It's literally just me knowing my boundaries. I know that I have love for this person. And, my pastor used to say that to me, that, you're an extremist. You don't know how to be in the middle. I don't know how to be one of those people that will just be like, hi, okay, I'm just not going to share about myself. We'll just be like, okay, let's just be cordial. It's so surface that I am not a surface person.
And it's work to do that. It's actually, because you're limiting yourself.
Yeah.
It's work to do that.
Yeah. So rather than that, I would rather Banke just act like they don't exist.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think of the fun times we had.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. They were great when they were.
Yeah.
But right now I'm a different person. I'm just not who you used to know.
Yeah.
I have 10 lives. This is one of them that you don't exist in. So it's okay. And I don't care about what version you have or how it makes you sleep at night. If it makes you feel good to hate me or think I'm a bad person, by all means do it.
Yeah.
Do what makes you feel good.
And when you said I don't mind being the villain in your life, I get that actually.
Because from trying to shalaye, they will draw you back into where you and you're not growing. Yeah. From trying to be, which is why I said on a previous episode, as women, when we pray for men as well, and when we have our list or our manifestation, and we say, I want a kind man, it's important to not just stop at kind man with boundaries.
Yeah.
You need a kind man with boundaries. If not, a kind man without boundaries will fall for anything. He'll be easily manipulated. Yeah. In a bit of trying to help, he'll find himself in a situation. In a bit of trying not to be a bad guy, he wants her to be okay. So he's reaching out to her to say, we're not together anymore, but are you okay? Don't hate me.
Yes.
Have the courage to be hated.
Yeah. Oh no. You have to. You have to have the strength to accept that people will not like you.
Yeah. I cannot stand a man who wants to be friends with everyone, or who wants to be the good guy in everyone's book. I worry about guys like that, because I'm like,
to be honest, anybody who feels they need to be friends with everyone, there's a problem there. Anybody who feels like I need to be friends with everyone, they're not loyal to anyone.
Self-esteem issues going on there.
Yeah, they're not loyal to anyone.
Yeah.
That can be a dangerous.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have a podcast as well. Let's talk about it before we wrap up.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I never saw you as a podcaster. So what
Nor did I, to be honest. I kind of felt like, I have such amazing customers and people around me, and I kind of wanted to build this circle of people that I would always have my back, build a circle of within the industry, almost build my own corner. You know what I mean? So I'm talking to you today, Toke, and I'm getting to know you, and we're building it. I feel like that's a springboard to build friendships within the industry, get to know people on deeper level, and also take myself away from fashion, because I have got a passion about learning about people and and learning about them beyond what they do. Like how we're catching up now. There's some things I didn't know about you.
Really? I think I'm one of your most troublesome customers.
You're not though.
I'll tell you, because I feel like I always come to you very last minute. And I do have to say this to you. I'm all about giving people their flowers. And I think you're so amazing at what you do.
Thank you.
I've always known there's more to you than fashion. You know, I remember us back then. We're not as close, but we ran in the same circle. So I always saw you every time on holiday, and I knew there was a party girl in there. I remember your haircuts, that famous haircut you had for years. You know, I'm very thankful for times when you've come through for my brand, like very last minute. I can be on the phone to Banke at 2 a.m. and have an event at 7, and Banke is so gracious. I can tell she's probably thinking, are you really okay? Are you
No,
normal?
but you're also very easy to work with. I must say you are.
Thank
and
you.
People are always like, oh, what's it like? What's Toke like? What's she like?
I can imagine
she's actually really sweet. They're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah.
I know. I don't know why people always think that. I find that people always say to me, I don't know you were so nice. I'm like, exactly the whole point. If everyone thought I was nice. I mean, I'm not. My new thing, Banke, I will say to somebody, a pastor told me recently, I was talking about you, and they said, stay away from that girl. She's not nice. Do you know what I said to the pastor? That person is not wrong. He looked at me like, what do you mean? I said, oh, the me you get is as a result of how you come across. So for me, you're a man of God. You got a nice side because I'm trying to hide. Do you understand? But truly out there, that person is not wrong. I might have been horrible to the person. And that's fair. I have the guts to be it. I don't even want you to like me. What are we using it for? Just respect me. What am I using your likeness for? True. I beg shifts.
True.
Do you know what I mean? But I'll take it. Thank you. Like I said, I'm nice. So nice. Have you shot many episodes? What's it like?
We have done one season. We're now doing our second season.
Nice.
And it's good. It's great to know. It's great to get to know people.
I'm not curious as to what my episode would be like, because I've already assumed I'm going on a show.
No, we've invited you now.
I know, if I'm just saying that.
And we're doing other things with you as well. We're doing other things with you as well.
Yes, we are. We are.
So we are working on our summer job, and you're going to be our muse.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I need to get my body in shape and start working out.
You look great. You look great.
Let's work on the timelines for this though, because that's something that I'm very worried about. But anyway, we'll catch up on that.
Yes.
The timeline is when we want to do it, so that we can...
Yeah. I know you have a lot going on next week and really in April.
Yeah.
And you're also healing.
Yeah.
From trying to. Yeah.
So that is such a crazy thing.
I know.
It's important that we also appreciate ourselves when we're all here.
Yeah.
And to tell ourselves. And that's one of the things that I loved about this friend of mine. You know, our friendship wasn't perfect, but it was a blessing. And it's important to pick up where you left off. You know what I mean? Like, I shared that already publicly about how we had met each other and falling out of each other's lives. And it were years that we had missed out on. And one phone call and a dinner, and it's like those years did not matter. And it was almost like time knew, or life knew, we did not have enough time, because the amount of pouring that she did and she gave, I was always like, you know, wow, you know, I'm trying to just juggle all of this, but you know, this person has time. It was such an inspiration for me to find someone who is busy, who is a great mom, a healthy life, a businesswoman, and she still has time for her friends and still has time to be one thing to everyone. It's such a blessing. You know what I mean? To live that sort of wealthy life where it's not about what you have. It's people being able to say they felt your presence more than anything else.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And they almost made you feel special.
Yeah.
It makes you, I think that's such a talent, a skill, to make everyone you meet, well, as many people as you can, feel special.
You know, you're so right. And everybody feels like they're close to you.
Yeah.
And everyone will feel like they had a part of you that nobody else got.
Yes.
And how people just get to share themselves like that is a skill that I have to learn.
It's a skill. It's a real skill.
I don't even remember to follow up on certain things, and it's not intentional. Do you know what I mean? It's just life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Life just, and then you forget, and then you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then
now I've started trying to make a conscious effort of not putting for tomorrow what I can do today.
Yeah. When
I think about someone, I've started trying to just reach out.
Yeah.
Even if they don't respond. As they cross my mind, I send a message. I'm trying. It's hard, but I'm just really trying. Because there's also this crazy thing my mind does. When I say my mind is powerful, when I think about someone, I hear from them that day.
Your mind is very
powerful. Crazy. So I now beat myself to messaging.
Yes.
Because I might think about them, and by 7 p.m. that night, my phone is ringing. I'm like, I was thinking about you today, and they're like, you're right. I'm like, I promise you, you crossed my mind.
Wow.
And I wish I was the first person to reach out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm now trying to, but also from this conversation, I have to say you blessed me in so many ways.
Thank you.
In terms of also trying to learn to just have conversations without being that person. I think I'm going to work on that because it might be my trauma. You think you've healed.
It's trauma.
But there's still some more healing left to do when you talk to someone.
The fear of being vulnerable.
I don't know how to be vulnerable.
So important.
And I used to be vulnerable, Banke. I used to be that girl that would wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'll be like so happy to let the person know how much they mean to me. And even if they didn't give back, I would just pour in.
No, but if they don't give back, then you have to step away.
Well, maybe that's where my trauma came from, because when I should have stepped away, I'm still there. I give you a long rope. Before I step away, you would have done the worst things to me, and I'll still take it. And what will make me step away might be broken glass. The littlest thing that the person is not thinking anything of will just make me say, the fuck?
I know, exactly. And
once done. I say the fuck,
it's done. It's done.
I tell people that if I still explain to you, I still care. Like if something happens and I'm still shalaying, oh, you still have me. The day there's nobody in this house anymore.
Yes, when there's silence. Okay. Yeah, I totally understand that.
But I want to change. I want to be more, as you said, like vulnerable.
Yeah, but you have to be careful. You have to choose the people you're vulnerable around, because some people will take advantage of that vulnerability. That's the hard part.
Before I let you go, like, what's your biggest pet peeve?
What's my biggest pet peeve?
I mean, it shouldn't be big or small. A pet peeve is a pet
peeve.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm someone who I don't understand people who like are obsessed with flattery. Like it gets their mind. I don't understand that. Like if people who like being told, oh, you're amazing, you're this, you're this. I don't get that.
I've never thought about it like that.
Really?
But there are people like that.
Yeah. It gets
that
their
feed off.
Yes.
It's an ego thing.
Yes, it's an ego thing.
They feed off just being told how amazing they are. They love the sound of their own voice.
Yes.
And they just they can't wait to just tell you how this person said they're amazing.
Yes, and send you like messages of how people are praising them and. I hate that.
I think I'll roll my eyes. I don't know how I feel when someone did that.
I hate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
hate that.
All right, go be friends with them then.
Yeah. I hate that.
I think in that line with that, I used to not like people who compared friendships.
Yes.
My other friends don't. My other friends, we don't do that. My other friends and I, we get that. Babe, can't be friends with your other friends now. Leave me alone.
Yes.
I hate, like, people are who people are. Like, on that line, I also like to tell people that I'm not someone that accepts that's just who I am. Because I feel like that's bullshit. If you care about someone, you can't just say to the person, accept me for who I am, right? But that being said, there are people who are constantly, you will never be enough because they will always compare you to that ex or to that ex-friend or that ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
And it's like, my nigga, like, go be with that person.
Exactly.
This is who I am. If it's not good enough for you, then peace.
Exactly. No, I totally get that.
Guys, I had so much fun. You see, we can carry on this conversation and talk for hours.
I think we should I think we should have a drink with your Sola.
Yes.
And continue.
Your Sola is actually upset with me, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because she had called me and I was supposed to have returned her call and life just got crazy. But it's nice that you said this because I'm going to actually call her once we get off this.
Yes.
And then this weekend, what are you doing? Let's actually catch up.
Yes.
Because every time, I was mad at you because every time I invite you for stuff, you never come. No. I think I've invited you for 2 things.
No, but
if it's outside of work, if it's work, you're always like, yeah. Outside of work, you don't come. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be very intentional about that.
Okay, but what happened the first 2 times? Because you know what.
Yeah, I know, but I had a trip planned, the first one.
Okay.
The second one, I don't remember getting a second invitation to something.
Maybe I didn't invite you because you didn't come to the first one.
Thanks, Toke.
At least I'm honest. I just thought, she'll give me another excuse and not come. So let me just spare her. You see, I'm working on. I need to do more therapy, clearly, because there I was in my head thinking, and it was just a trip that didn't make you come for the first one.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have actually extended the invitation, but I just thought, yeah, she's probably not gonna come, and that's
No,
why I
I
didn't.
would have come. I would
But
have
okay,
come.
so let's we're gonna go for a drink, and I cannot wait to come on your podcast as well.
Yes,
I love that I've been a part of the Banke Kuku journey,
you
which
have,
has
and
also
we
been.
are so grateful for you.
It's been
I love,
amazing.
I love, I love seeing you in my pieces. You always slay them.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, I can't wait to see what else we can do together.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, that's it. The lady behind the brand, Banke Kuku, on strips. Or is it strips? It's actually strips. Because on strips means Banke Kuku. Strips is the lady behind the brand.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have had so much fun getting to know her as much as I have, bringing her to you. And let's catch up in the next episode of TokeMoments. Good night.